You are now listening to Wave a Sound.
Welcome to episode 85 of Versus Mike History. I am your host, Michael History. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you choose to listen. And if you're on your preferred platform, let us know. We'll do our best to change that. For premier access to Versus Mike History content, join our members-only subscription tier on versusmikehistory.com.
What I try to do is just try to be still and understand that things come and go. Emotions come and go. The important thing is to accept them all, to embrace them all, and then you can choose to do with them what you want versus being controlled by emotion. You know, a lot of times I've seen players, even myself, you know, when I was younger, being consumed by a particular fear, and to the point where you're saying, okay, nah, it's not good to feel fear. I shouldn't be nervous in a situation like that. And it does nothing but grow. Versus stepping back and saying, yeah, I am nervous about the situation. Yeah, I am fearful about the situation. Well, what am I afraid of? And then you kind of unpack it. And then it gives you the ability to look at it for really what it is, which is nothing more than your imagination running its course, you know.
Peace, family. We are back for another episode of Versus Mike History. I hope everybody's out there staying safe. I hope everybody's doing well. I myself can say that I'm doing well. You know, going into February, January lasted forever, as it does every year. And, you know, I'm just looking ahead to February and thinking about all the things I want to do, how I want to celebrate Black History Month. How I want to kick off these interviews that I really need to get ahead on, and really just, you know, thinking about how I want to map out growing this brand, this podcast, this audience, this community, because we got a good thing going here, and you know, we're going to take our shot. But we got some good topics ahead of us, and we're going to go ahead and get into them pretty soon. I think it's fair enough for me to announce that I got some merch on the way. So I'm going to be dropping some merch in a few weeks' time on the website versusmikehistory.com. Some pieces that I've been meaning to drop for a while now. But now it seems like the perfect time to get those off. So it's not going to be a whole thing. It's going to be like a nice soft rollout. But there'll be some things on the website for you guys to cop if you want to cop. And if you're not, then I guess not. But let's go ahead and get into the episode and let's get started. All right. As always, we got to lead with love. And I want to give a shout out to all the new parents. I want to give a shout out to all the new parents because, you know, we've been living in a schmandemic for a while now, and it's been kind of crazy. It's been like this kind of upside down world where everything is wrong, but everyone's pretending that everything is fine, and you know, having to raise a newborn or small little toddler in these kind of times must be a lot. So just sending love, sending some shout outs you guys' way, and yeah, peace. Let's move on. All right, let's go ahead and get into our topics for the week. So first up, I have here from Afrotech that husband and wife opened the doors to the first Black-owned contactless grocery store in Atlanta. So, the first Black-owned contactless grocery store just hit the Atlanta market thanks to husband and wife Jamie and Jalea Hemmings. According to TechCrunch, the dynamic duo created Nourish and Bloom Market to provide more than 1,000 locally sourced healthy food products to the community, which includes baked goods, dairies, meats, prepared meals, and produce. Their journey to entrepreneurship began for pair when their eldest child was diagnosed with autism at the age of 6. After researching the impact that autism can have on one's diet, the husband and wife built a food company that took the child's favorites and turned them into healthier options. I think this is absolutely beautiful. One, because I think we all need to have more awareness when it comes to autism in general, because I think it's going to be something that more people are affected by in the future. And the fact that this husband and wife came together to provide locally sourced food and healthier options for meals is absolutely beautiful. So shout out to them, and let's go ahead and move on. All right, next up, I have here that Abbott Elementary becomes the first ABC comedy to premiere to quadruple ratings in the MP35. And I'm getting this from Deadline, so bear with me. Freshman Abbott Elementary is truly the head of the class at ABC, with its debut making the network's first comedy premiere to quadruple ratings since its original airing. Created, written, and starring Quinta Brunson, Abbott Elementary debuted back in December to earn a 0.6 rating at the 14 to 49 demo, and the 2.79 million viewers per Fast affiliates. However, after day 35 of viewing across ABC's linear and digital platforms, the series premiere shot up 300% in the demo for a 2.4 rating and a 7.1 million total viewers. Per ABC, Abbott's opening marked the largest percentage growth from L plus SD to MP35 for any new comedy premiere. I don't know what that means. Sorry. ABC started tracking MP35 performance in September 2017. Congratulations to Abbott Elementary. I've spoken highly about this show in the past, and I will continue to, because it's hilarious, and Quinta deserves all the flowers in real time, and the rest of the cast is also amazing. But the show is really good in general, outside of all of that stuff. So go ahead and watch it, and shout out to everybody involved. So I have an article here from FierceHealthcare.com. Cuban's drug company launches pharmacy, promising striking savings on generic drugs. So Mark Cuban, cost plug drug company, has launched its online pharmacy as part of an ongoing effort to provide customers Okay, so I have a story here about Mark Cuban creating an online pharmacy, and I'm getting this from FierceHealthcare.com. Cuban's drug company launches pharmacy, promising striking savings on generic drugs. So, Mark Cuban Cost Plug Drug Company has launched its online pharmacy as part of an ongoing effort to provide consumers with low drug prices. The pharmacy claims to offer significant savings, with several prescription drugs at more than half the cost of the next most affordable option. For instance, leukemia treatment, imatinib has a retail price of $9,657 a month, according to MCCPDC, compared to $120 with a common voucher. Its price through the new company, however, is just $47 per month. The pharmacy's initial inventory launches consists of 100 generic drugs. So this is huge. I came across this story while I was on Twitter, and I thought that I'd cover it here because I feel like more people needed to know about it. It is a game changer, and the people that have experienced its services so far have said so themselves. We all in America need better access to healthcare and medicine that will help us heal and deal with the ailments that we are living with. But nevertheless, shout out to all parties involved. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and get into this story about LeBron James making a crypto promise. And I'm getting this from Boardroom TV, so bear with me. The LeBron James Family Foundation has engaged in a multi-year partnership with Crypto.com focused on the LBJ founded I Promise School in Akron, Ohio. It was only a matter of time before LeBron James entered the crypto space, and he decided to use his first partnership to bolster his many charitable initiatives in his native Akron, Ohio. The LeBron James Family Foundation has agreed to a multi-year deal with Crypto.com, which also serves as the naming sponsor of his home court in Los Angeles, to develop a curriculum for the LeBron founded I Promise School in Akron, Ohio, where students will learn about cryptocurrency, Web3, and jobs in and around the world of blockchain technology, an industry that will only grow as students progress throughout their academic careers and beyond. Well, you guys already know that I'm going to say that this is amazing, and I'm only sharing it with you guys because you know that I think it's amazing. Because it is, where LeBron James empowering these students, and instead of just like buying an ape and making that his profile picture, is very cool. It's very useful, and these kids will make a whole bunch of money before they even graduate and go off to college. So shout out to LeBron, shout out to I Promise, and Web3, cryptocurrency, all that stuff is the future. All right, let's go ahead and get into some word of mouth. So, I'm not gonna lie, this week's episode cover is Janet Jackson, but I did not see the doc. I did not see the first half of the doc. I think it's multiple parts. Whether there's multiple parts or not, I haven't seen it yet at all. And I'm a little ashamed, but I was super busy, man, and I couldn't find time to watch it before had to record. But nonetheless, that is out. I think it's on A&E and Lifetime, I believe. So go ahead and check that out. I've been hearing that there's a bunch of drama surrounding it, but good drama because I'm pretty sure that Janet had control over this whole process, which I'm glad that celebrities are starting to take control of their life documentaries and stuff like that, because when it's made in messy ways, it's just tarnishing of legacies and stuff like that, and that's not cool. But yeah, go ahead and check that out, and I'll be checking that out. What else? Barry Bonds was shut out of the Hall of Fame. Now, I am no huge baseball fan, but as a black man, I think that it's one of my duties to know one of the more prominent black baseball players to have lived, which would be Barry Bonds. And many would regard him as one of the greatest hitters, if not the greatest hitter of all time. And to see him in my lifetime be shut out of the Hall of Fame and sort of just erased out of the history of, the MLB, it's kind of amazing. Outside of all the situations with the performance enhancement drugs, just to not recognize someone's legacy in a way that sort of erases everything that they did and provided to the sport in terms of, elevating it and moving it to the next level and, adding to people's drive. It's just not cool. And this stuff only happens with us. So that's why I'm speaking on it. And it's not right, but it is what it is. And, that's all we got to do. That's all I got to say. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some new music. So there weren't a lot of major releases this week, but we got some good stuff. So we got Postman from Toro Imoy. We got No Fuss. These are singles, by the way. No Fuss from OG Parker and Party Next Door. Doughboy, G Herbo, and Nardo Wick. Drop Off Op Party. Saba and G Herbo release Survivor's Guilt. Benny the Butcher and J. Cole release Johnny P's Caddy. Ravina and Vince Staples release Secret. Gucci Mane and Lil Durk release Rumors. LMA releases DFMU. I actually didn't hear that. I want to hear that. The Baby releases couple cubes of ice and Sneaky Link Anthem. Juicy J releases Backseat with Project Pat and Wiz Khalifa. Oh, too close to the mic. Sorry, guys. ESTG releases Who Hotter Than G. And that is all our report from this list. Let's see. In terms of projects, we got Do or Die 2, the deluxe from AZ. We got Me Versus Me by NLE Choppa. Amber Mark, we have 3 Dimensions Deep. I haven't heard that, but I want to hear that. We got Back to the Block by Blockboy JB. We got Don't Say I Didn't Warn You by Naja. Shout out to Naja. She's from Jersey, and she makes amazing music for all our favorite artists. Sorry if I was super low right there, but I'm going through the list, and that's pretty much it on music. You know, wasn't a lot of major things going on music wise. So yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into our TV, movie, and trailer segment. We have to talk about Janet Jackson doc. I put that here, but we already spoke about that. Sorry, guys. We got Boba Fett to talk about. We got Peacemaker, Ozark, and Abbott Elementary. So I'll go ahead and start with Boba Fett. Episode 5, The Return of the Mandalorian. Best episode of the season yet. Did not feature Boba Fett at all. Is that an issue in the series that is called The Book of Boba Fett? Yes, it is. Seeing the Mandalorian was instantly just made my experience of the show better. The set was 1,000 times better than anything we've seen in previous episodes of The Book of Boba Fett. The character writing was better. And the overall arc of the story from beginning to end. So I just do not understand why we can't get this consistent type of storytelling in the actual Boba Fett series. We've seen this character enough in different mediums and different films to do a lot with him. And it seems like, you know, what I thought from the beginning is turning out to be true, which is that this was just a filler for Disney Plus while Jon Favreau took a year off of Mandalorian to keep the story fresh. But regardless, it is what it is, and you know, if we can get some other spin-off stories or other tie-in stories that will be propelled because of this series, then you know, I'll appreciate it for that, if not anything else. And that Darksaber looks very good. Looks very, very good. And I can't wait for Mandalorian season 3. So you know, it's all getting very exciting. I think I'm starting to become a bigger Star Wars fan. The TV stuff is doing they're doing a really good job on the TV stuff, man. But let's go ahead and move over to Peacemaker. Peacemaker is also pretty damn good. Peacemaker is not only funny, but action-packed, and the cast is pretty damn good at their jobs, and pretty consistent, rather. And it doesn't always feel like a comic book show. It just but the elements of the show that are comic booky kind of stand out like a sore thumb, which makes it even funnier. But you guys should all check it out if you haven't. I don't really want to get into spoilers here because it's easy to ruin the show because of how specific the plot is. But you guys should check it out because it's pretty cool. What else we got here? Ozark. So Ozark is releasing their final season in 2 parts. I have seen, I believe, 3 or 4 episodes. I believe I've seen 3 episodes of this first half of the final season. And man, masterclass, I've got to say. Jason Bateman, he's fantastic. He's good at what he does. The rest of the cast is also very good, but Marty Bird, he's just the man. What can I say? I always looked at this show as Ozark Light, but Ozark Light. I've always looked at Ozark as Breaking Bad Light, but this season the series is definitely standing on its own 2 feet, and I'm really appreciating that, because we don't get a lot of original stories these days with all these comic book stories. And I love those comic book stories, but I love balance. So yeah, Ozark's dope. Go check that out. And Abbott Elementary. I have not seen the most recent episode of Abbott Elementary, but I've heard very, very good things. It continues to be funny, and I have to catch up on it. I'm not necessarily in a rush because streaming, but I like to keep up with what everybody else is saying. And what else do we have? Oh, Euphoria. I was able to see this week's episode of Euphoria. Absolutely wild, chaotic, and out of control. If I had to say so myself. This show continues to be wild, but I love it. It's like a car crash happening in slow motion, But it's just good stuff. It's good stuff. It looks visually good, it's hard to be distracted from. So Euphoria all around is doing a pretty damn good job. And I'll just briefly state something here, because I know people probably wonder why I don't speak on it at all, because it's probably super weird. But I don't have stars, so I can't report on any of the Power series, like the Power Book 2 Ghost, Power Book 3 Raising Kanan, Power Book 4 Force, that's coming out soon. I believe that I will be saving that for YouTube content specifically. I think I'm going to do a whole Power review thing, but I'm not sure. I just want to make sure that people actually want that from me rather than me waste my time. But that's something that I'm interested in doing. So I wanted to put that at the end of the episode to let you guys know that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This has been cool. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. So, as always, send topics, questions, music, and movie suggestions. Sorry about the heater in the back, guys. It's rough out here. As always, send topics, questions, music, and movie suggestions. Follow the podcast on Twitter at VSMikeHistory and on Instagram at VersusMikeHistory and on Fanbase at VersusMikeHistory. Follow me on Twitter at MikeHistory and on Instagram at LastNameHistory. And this week's sound selection comes from Benny the Butcher featuring J. Cole, and it is called Johnny P's Caddy. I will see you at the next episode, beautiful black people.